Dear Rescue 911, had it not been for your show, we would have lost our baby
Had
girl.
Michael not known what to do, Stephen would have bled to death.
He's seen other kids on there do these things in emergency situations.
This is 911. Do you have an emergency?
And she wasn't breathing. I had to help her.
And I knew I had to do something.
Just feel emergency service.
Every second counted.
Who would ever think that you'd have to deliver a young kid?
Even being that young, they can learn things.
Has he got his blood pressure? Was he breathing?
I said, call 911, Angie's dead. She's drowned.
Then the 911 special dealing with strangers got the message across.
Everyday people helping other people.
Any one of us could have panicked.
You can't let this boy die.
I think the Rescue 911 saved my life.
A television program's success can be measured in many different ways. Ratings, awards, reviews. For us, the most important measure has been in lives. I'm William Shatner. During the first 3 years of Rescue 911, more than 100 lives have been saved as a result of what viewers have learned from watching this program. Tonight, in a special episode, we're paying tribute to all those people whose lives were saved and the everyday heroes who, inspired by our program, took action to try and make a difference. We begin on the afternoon of October 17th, 1991, in Stillwater, Oklahoma, as 17-year-old Jamie Scavona and her best friend, Heather Walter, were heading home from a local shopping mall along a route they had traveled many times before.
Kids do not realize that when they get behind the wheel of a car, that they take not only their life, but other lives in the palm of their hand.
That sounds good.
Jamie was a very careless driver. She drove much too fast. She never would wear her seatbelt. She was driving down I-35, and she was not paying attention to what she was doing.
I remember rolling, I don't know how long. I remember coming to a rest and thinking I didn't want to move. I just wanted to lay there because I was in so much pain. I started looking around and Jamie wasn't there. And then I saw her hand come up from under the truck. That scared me to death because it was all bloody.
Mark Gardner was on his way to catch a plane when he saw the truck crash.
I run across the freeway, and I seen a teenage girl crawling out of the passenger side. Lay down, lay down, lay down. Out of the corner of my eye, I seen the other girl, and the truck was laying on top of her. She was bad. I mean, if I didn't do something, she was going to die because she could not breathe. I pictured my daughter under that truck, and it scared me. I was just going to try to lift the truck a little where she could breathe. But when I started up with it, I just kept on going. I don't know if it was just fright, adrenaline, or what, but I did it. She was having a real hard time breathing. It sounded like she was drowning in her own blood.
By this time, other people had also stopped to try and lend a hand.
I had to help her, but I didn't know what to do. And I kept asking, does anyone know anything about first aid? Everyone kept telling me no.
Anybody know first aid?
One of the passing motorists used his mobile phone to call for help. From more than 15 miles away, rescue units with the Guthrie Fire Department were dispatched, including EMT Chuck Bircher.
That's kind of a bad zone right in there. It's a long ways off. Your response time is lengthened by going there. It's usually just not very good news when you go up there.
I was reassuring her to just hold on and relax. And then she quit breathing on me. There was one man in the crowd. He said, well, it looked like she's gone. And I looked up at him and said, by God, she ain't, because I'm not going to let her go. I didn't know anything about first aid, but I watched Rescue 911. and I held her nose and breathed into her mouth like I'd seen on TV. She responded by giving me a big old I didn't know if I was going to have to do it again, but I was relieved to know that she was breathing again.
I could hear her and trying to breathe. I was concerned because I knew she had asthma really bad. So I told the people that she needed her inhaler.
Some lady in the crowd had got her inhaler out, but I wasn't about to give her any inhaler because I don't know what the inhaler does. I didn't want to put nothing in her. You know, I just wanted to keep her breathing until somebody with experience got there.
Within 8 minutes of the accident, an Oklahoma Highway Patrol trooper arrived on the scene.
I asked the police officer, I said, can you talk to the ambulance? Ask them, can I give her some inhaler?
The trooper radioed to the medic unit en route and spoke with EMT Mike O'Connor.
I told him that it would be fine to use her inhaler, but I wanted him to monitor her use. I didn't want her using it excessively. It's a life-threatening situation. People have died because of asthma attacks.
Jamie, can you hear me? Went to the police officer and told him, I've got to catch a plane in 35 minutes. I've got to go. I left my address, phone number, and I was gone.
She was in severe respiratory distress. Her lips were a little blue. She was having a real hard time getting any air movement at all. She was having a big-time asthma attack.
17-year-old Jamie Scavona was taken to Stillwater Medical Center, where she was examined by emergency physician Douglas Wilsey.
A chest x-ray showed that she had a collapsed lung and was not moving air because of her asthma. Those two things were responsible for her breathing problem. And she had multiple other problems, left collarbone fractures and a left knee laceration and injury, and blood in her urine, confirming a severe trauma to the abdomen.
Jamie was hospitalized for 2.5 weeks. Today, despite her asthma, she's in good health.
If she had stopped breathing for several seconds, it was reasonable to assume that she was in the process of dying. And his rescue breathing probably did play a role in saving her life, that and removing the truck from her.
I pretty much owe everything to him. If he hadn't showed up, you know, I wouldn't be here today. To me, he is a hero.
I feel that I gave her back something that was fixing to be taken away from her, and it made me feel good. Hey, we buddies now. Believe me, villains don't always wear black.
He and Jamie have developed a bond that nothing will ever change. I'm really, really glad that he was on I-35 that day.
I feel like I've been given a second chance, and I learned to value life a little bit more, take things a little more seriously, wear my seatbelt, and don't drive so fast.
I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to get into first aid. That's fixing to happen. I'm fixing to go work on the dummies, you know. I learned a big lesson. Don't be afraid to stop and help. You can make a difference.